This is the story of how 3 women and 1 van journeyed across Scotland, visiting 13 locations over a period of 14 days, exploring the food heritage of the nation through a celebration of locally sourced ingredients and regional recipes. We met with cheesemakers, chilli growers, crofters, fishermen, farmers, community gardeners and cooks, passing on and learning a new recipe at each stop. This is how we did it. The Hidden Gardens presents the Culture Kitchen Relay.
Harvesting some vegetables for our curry for the launch for the Culture Kitchen Relay. I've found a cabbage which was not eaten by slugs 2 days ago, and it is a bit now. Got some green chillies in here and some garlic, courgettes, and those 3 things have come from the Queen's Park allotments. Picked some lovely coriander, we've got loads over there. We've got some turnip here, which we're going to just make a salady thing with. I'm not totally 100% decided what kind of salad that's going to be. We're going to get a different type of cabbage as well. I'll show you that later as I've got it.
If anyone would like to come look in the van, if you haven't already, then you can come see what we'll be doing. It's going to be an exciting trip, and we're really excited to be meeting with so many local food producers along the way.
We're here saying hello to goats that make the goat's cheese here at the dairy. They've been out enjoying the sunshine, so they're all gathered here for a bit of breakfast in the sun.
This here's the Dunlop, and this is the bonnet. The hard goat's cheese, this is the hard cow's cheese. If you're eating locally produced food, it's helping local businesses like ourselves that are employing local people, and then if we're making money, we're buying stuff from other companies round about, so it helps the whole local economy. Oh. Sweet. Sweet. There's a healthy bit of cheese anyway.
My name is Howard Wilkinson. My wife and I run Peachy Fine Foods here at Town End of Gree. By using local food and buying local food and selling local food, you're creating a kind of network of interconnections, which means not only trading with one another, but it means economic benefit to one another. The idea of the food that we're going to have today is, to be candid, it's Italian inspired. But the idea is that by having a vegetarian dish which can use local produce and which can be modified for a Scottish sourcing. So the spinach has come from the Heal the Earth community garden, of which we are members. We have been since it founded. The cheese is 2 cheeses we're using. One is a Crowdy, one is a Dunlop Mild. That's coming from Dunlop Dairy, about 8 miles from here. I think a memory which I have, which stands and always remains, is of salads made with radishes that my mother, my late mother, supplied in a beautiful wooden bowl. And I always remember she used to have it on a handmade oak table. And it was the salads that we tended to grow in the gardens, and she loved radishes, and I kind of fell in love with radishes. I'm not sure that's my first memory, but it's certainly one that sticks in my mind very openly.
This is the Wall Garden. It's part of the Dean Castle Country Estate, and it's Aslos Wall Garden it's called, and it's the old kitchen garden for Aslos Mains, which is the house up at the top of the hill. We've got about 60 raised beds, and they're all taken just now, but I would say people can come and go, but we've got a good core team, maybe about a dozen people anyway, they come regularly. I think we've all kind of forgotten, we've lost the skills that our grandparents had, and we've all forgotten about that, you know, the whole local food thing. But so there's an element of community involved in it, you know, you can lose the community thing and people, but there's also the environmental aspect as well, because, you know, so much of our food is imported now. Something like 95% of UK fruit is imported, and that's just shocking, from Spain and all over the world. We used to be a nation of fruit growers, didn't we? You know, all our orchards, which this place is really was all about.
Hi, I'm Chris Balance and I'm Development Manager of Moffat Can. Moffat Can was started by two people, one of whom has a passion about waste and one of whom has a passion about food. And so we run a recycling collection around the area, and we've got the local food, the gardens here. Local food is really important for health, it's really important for food miles, and it's really important for local communities to understand that peas grow from the ground, that apples get picked from trees, and that milk comes from cows, and it doesn't all come in Tetra Paks from Tesco's.
Hi, I'm Laura Smith and we're at the McClure Arms Hotel in Moffat. Today I cooked up a whole roasted green, Moffat green, tilapia. We stuffed that with mussel and risotto. Local food is a cornerstone to our products, what we do, the service that we offer. The producers and suppliers are on our doorstep. It would be a shame not to use them, and they have such fantastic products. It's almost a sacrilege not to be using them.
We think the organic bit is more important than the local bit, because local doesn't mean anything. Whereas at least organic is giving you a definition of an agricultural system which doesn't destroy the soil, which doesn't harm livestock, which has fair trade written into it as an endemic part of its belief system. And Sheila Dillon says if you understand food, you understand the world, because the world is a food trading system, and understanding how that's developed and what happens now is really important, and making people think about that. And because local's a very lazy word, it's like a feel-good thing, but it doesn't need to mean anything. Whereas it's getting people to question a bit more than that. So this is local and organic, apart from the orange tree bananas.
I start off, I'm Isabel Knox. I work with these guys in the Dunbar Grammar School allotment and polytunnel.
Hello, my name's Jenny Folkes. I'm in the polytunnel at the Edible Gardening Project at the Botanic Garden in Edinburgh. And we've been cooking produce from the plots here. We've been making pakora and rumbledy thumps. Rumbledy thumps is a dish from the Borders. It's basically potatoes fried up with, I think, anything that you've got to hand. So we fried up cabbages, kale and kohlrabi, and you mix it all up with cheese and it's delicious. Proper comfort food.
So we've just bought some cheese from the St Andrews Farmhouse Cheese Company for our cheese and chilli oat cakes.
John Pickin, farmer in the northeast of Fife. This is we're on Prior Lethem Farm. We have 500 acres of oats and 100 acres of wheat at the moment.
I think the idea of food miles, it may not tick the box for carbon footprints, but
consumers can recognise what that means, and they want to see that food hasn't been transported all the way around the world. There's less risk if you actually buy a product that you know is grown by professionals who have got the interests of the consumer at heart, as all Scotland's farmers are.
I haven't always been interested in local food. I've always been interested in food. I lived in the Netherlands for 6 years, came back here and opened a bed and breakfast. And part of the deal with the bed and breakfast, so Fruity's not the centre of the universe, it's not a great attraction, was to try and make the food attractive, and local food seemed to be the way to do that. So that's kind of how I got into local food, and the B&B also took me into bread making, because it was difficult to get good bread consistently. And I kind of knew how to make bread, but I started experimenting a bit more.
David and Maria, we're at the Glamour Hawk allotments in Huntly, coming towards the end of bloody awful season.
Growing local food's important to me because it's good for the health and well-being of all community members. We've taken the incredible edibles to Todmorden, saying if you eat, you're in. And I think that goes for all of us. We all need a good balanced healthy diet, and this is the best you can get.
Growing your owns, you know, exercising two fronts, you know, planting, lifting, harvesting, eating's just the end of it for me. That's why I do it. You just don't get the flavour out of shop bought stuff at all.
I'm Strung. I'm head brewer here at the Blackout Brewery, and this is our house on the farm site. But as you can see, we grow all our own vegetables here. The mould for the barley grows on the fields here and in the building and everywhere all around the brewery. The only thing we have to import at the moment is hops. Our food we grow for ourselves to as much as we can, or we use local farm shops and as much locally sourced produce as we can. Try to keep food miles down, and generally we just think it's a bit healthier for us when we know where everything's come from, that we know how well it's been looked after, and we know that we're getting the best we can for it. And the brewery was started up with the idea of becoming, it was always organic essentially. It started 13 years ago in 1998, and that was always sort of the base plan for the brewery. Was that they started out with the idea of making good organic beer, and it's now our plan to be the best and hopefully most productive brewery, organic brewery in Britain.
I think whenever you've grown it yourself, or you've even just gone and foraged it yourself in the wild, and you bring it back to the house and everybody sits down to eat it, you know, and there's something, sort of a sense of accomplishment, and this is real food, as opposed to something you've gone to Tesco and bought. And yes, it's real food technically, but it's not the same. It doesn't have the same feeling in your heart and in your soul that you've actually gone and brought it yourself and picked it yourself and grown it yourself. It's nice in that you can look in the winter time and we go in the cupboard and go, right, I really need to have a sandwich, and there's some chutney that we've grown the tomatoes for and the onions for, and it's just a wonderful feeling in the dead of February to be able to put that on a cheese sandwich. It's fantastic. You can go to certain wee forests and little bits of like land and find nettle and things, as long as it's nice and new and fresh, and you can use that for your teas and make soup and stuff. So it's there. You just have to find it and then be kind enough to share.
It's really nice, yeah. I could eat this, no bother.
On our 2-week journey, we learnt how important food is to local economies. We heard people's views on organic farming. We were inspired by community growing projects that are transforming people's lives, and we tasted some of the best food Scotland has to offer. We also heard about the challenges that farmers face and how much more resilient our food system needs to be in the face of increasingly unpredictable weather and equally unpredictable markets. Living in a city, I think it's easy to feel disconnected from the land and from the people producing our food. The relay brought into sharp focus just how reliant we are on our fragile ecosystem, how vulnerable we are to climate change, and how much more we need to value the local food on our doorstep.